Hey, what is up YouTube? This is the Merman Master coming at you guys from the Team Time Riders YouTube channel, and today I am bringing to you guys, after a long time, my updated 56 or so card YUGI Dark Magician deck. What I wanted to do was take all of the old / inconsistent cards that Yugi used to run way back in the day and make a brand new Dark Magician style strategy out of those cards. I'm super excited to show you this, and let's get started. One caveat, I will say that I am missing 3 copies of Soul Servant. I currently do not have them, but when you're looking at this profile, just assume that you can just add 3 Soul Servant to the total number of cards in this deck. And with that being said, let's get going. Starting things out first, this cannot be a Yugi deck without 3 copies of Dark Magician. I specifically selected these arts because nobody else really plays them, and I think they're kind of cool. You know, we've been getting a ton of alternate arts lately. I'm possibly going to replace the movie art with with the old version that just came out in Battle of Chaos, but have not gotten around to doing that yet. But yeah, 3 Dark Magician is really great in this deck. We could say don't run any less than 3, but a lot of decks have been cutting down the number, but I think 3 in here, at least for my purposes right now, is great. Next cards we have are 1 Dark Magician Girl, pretty self-explanatory. 1 copy of Palladium Oracle Mahad. A lot of people like to take this out. I might as well, I don't know. Still comes up in good situations. And finally, a single copy of Palladium Oracle Mana, who is very good. She's awesome for getting an extra body on board when you have things that are getting targeted by card effects. Next cards we've gotten here, 3 copies of our Apprentice Illusion Magician. She's the way that we get Dark Magician from our deck to our hand. Discard 1 card, special, search, and then also has an honest effect to give 2,000 attack power to any dark spellcaster type monster, which comes in great handy. We've got 3 of our Magician's Rod, one of the best searchers in the deck. Pretty self-explanatory. Just does so much for the deck and searches pretty much your entire spell and trap lineup. And we've got 3 copies of Magician's Souls. Just such a great card. Does so much for the deck, and you've got tons of things in here. So as whether it's a draw engine, or you know, to get your Dark Magician onto the grave or onto the field, this card just pulls in its weight. It's worth its weight in gold, guys, and I don't think we could do anything without it. So yeah. Next, we've got brand new from Battle of Chaos is 2 copies of our Illusion of Chaos. This card is fantastic. Basically has a negation effect, and then its main effect is your ability to reveal it in your hand to search any non-ritual Dark Magician / spellcaster monster related to this deck. Pretty much you're going to be just searching the souls and your Magician's Rod, just for the searching capabilities. And I'm thinking about possibly bumping this number up to 3, given the size of the deck, and I'm waffling between adding in some preparations of rights. But this is just such a good card because it searches in your hand. You don't have to activate it. It's tougher to negate, and you can just cycle through everything in your hand as a once per turn kind of searcher throughout the course of the duel. And it's just super great. Like if you break and you get like Mirage Knight or something into your hand, you can just put it back into your deck and utilize it from there. So that's that. Got 1 copy of Magician of Dark Illusion. Really great card for just getting an extra body on board. 1 copy of Timaeus, the brand new dragon from Battle of Chaos. He's great for fusion summoning and helps you to get out your Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, which is really awesome. Now for our special cards, and these guys are the ones that we run this deck for. Got 1 copy of Sorcerer of Dark Magic, 1 copy of Dark Eradicator Warlock, 1 copy of Dark Magician Knight, 1 copy of Mirage Knight, and finally a single copy of Dark Magician of Chaos. Starting out with Sorcerer of Dark Magic, 2 spellcasters can go into him, and he can basically negate every single trap card, save for counter traps. So you summon him against an Altergeist player or a Paleo player, or you know, some heavy trap-like player. His effect to negate is not once per turn. So you just can really do some super cool stuff. Dark Eradicator Warlock is great because you tribute him over any Dark Magician, and then anytime you would activate a normal spell card, doesn't have to be a Magician spell card, you basically utilize his effect and he burns for 1,000. Dark Magician Knight is one of my personal favorite because its associated spell card, Knight's Title, can actually be searched out of your deck through Magician's Rod and other search cards that you have. And when he comes to the field, he's a mandatory pop of any card on the field. Do try to summon him against an opponent who has stuff on the field, because if you do not do so, then you have to pop something on your own field. Mirage Knight comes in super, super good handy. Think of it kind of like a one-turn Honest that banishes himself after he activates its effect, but he comes out when you have Dark Flare Knight destroyed by battle. You can special summon Mirage Knight from your deck. So we have ways to cheat Dark Flare Knight out in this deck, which is why Mirage Knight is in here. And he's also a warrior type monster, which means that if he bricks in your hand, you can use a fusion spell to go into the Gaia fusion monster. And then, of course, finally, Dark Magician Chaos for that end phase recursion of a spell from your graveyard back to your hand. That is going to do it for our monsters. Now, we're going to be moving on to our spell cards. And we're going to start things out right now with 3 copies of Dark Magic Circles. Now, Dark Magic Circles is awesome because what this card does is it's anytime a Dark Magician monster or Dark Magician is special summoned from your hand or graveyard or wherever, you banish a card on the field, and also has a nice search effect as well. Lots of people have been dumping down the number, but I still think 3 is great. Speaking of really, really great cards, we've got 3 copies of Fusion Deployment. Any monster listed on a Fusion monster in your extra deck can be special summoned from your deck, but the caveat is that you only use Fusion monsters for the rest of the turn, which is a good thing because Fusion monsters are almost everything that we summon in this extra deck. So Fusion Deployment pulls overtime here. I'm going to be using him together with a bunch of other stuff, including with Time Wizard, in order to go into the Fabled Dark Sage in the next build. 2 copies of Eye of Timaeus. Thinking about bumping this number up to 3. Really, really like this. I want to get 3 secrets rather than the ghost rares, I think. Although, if I do get a good deal on the ghost rares, I definitely consider getting them. But Eye of Timaeus is just the way that we cheat out so many fusions without having to run the other associated materials. You can go Dark Paladin, you can go Dark Flare Knight, you can go into your Dark Magicians, you can go into your Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, pretty much with just having either Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl on the field. It's just such a good card and very, very fun to play. The only caveat is that since it mentions Dark Magician Monster, you cannot search this card out of the deck, which is unfortunate. 2 copies of the Dark Magic Secrets card, aka Secrets of Dark Magic. So good for a lot of the different plays that you have. Can both ritual and fusion summon, which I really do quite enjoy, guys. It's just a very versatile card, easily searchable, OTK enabling, and I used to have it in here at 1, had to bump the number up to 2. 1 copy of Polymerization, also for fusion spells. We've got Yugi's original DPYG version, and now moving on to our 1-elves. Starting out with Illusion Magic. Send a spellcaster from your field to the grave to search 2 copies of the original Dark Magician from your deck. And then we have 1 copy of Dark Burning Magic. When Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl are on the field, blow up your opponent's whole board. You can search that out with this card right here, Bond Between Teacher of Student, which grabs your when you have Dark Magician, you can grab Dark Magician Girl out of the deck and utilize that effect. But now that we have both those cards, it would not be complete without this card right here. A single copy of Sage's Stone, brand new in the deck. This card basically allows you to special summon a Dark Magician from your deck or hand when Dark Magician Girl is on the field. You have a lot of ways to get her out in this deck, whether it's with souls, whether it's with fusion deployment. She's very easily searchable or summonable, even off of mana. So, Sage's Stone, when you have a Dark Magician Girl, you can search this out of your deck and it will instantly allow you to grab Dark Magician, which is super good. Speaking of searching it out of the deck, a single copy of Dark Magic Inheritance will allow us to do that. And then we have a couple more 1-elves in here. We've got 1 copy of Dark Magic Attack and 1 copy of Thousand Knives. Search these guys out of the deck with your spell card. We then have Dark Magic Curtain. I'm planning on possibly taking this out of the deck because of how restrictive the card actually is. It's just a very restrictive card. It can be tough to do things when you can't summon anything besides the Dark Magician you bring to the field, but combined together with this guy, it's pretty good. It's just a more restrictive version of Fusion Deployment. One copy of Magician Salvation for those kinds of plays. You can also, because it doesn't really do anything on the field afterward, you can also tribute this card with your Magician Souls after you've activated its effect to grab you a Eternal Soul from the deck. Dedication through Light and Darkness, tribute to Dark Magician, special summon Dark Magician of Chaos. One copy of Knight's Title, which will basically allow you to special summon Dark Magician Knight by tributing a Dark Magician. And finally, a single copy of Magicalized Fusion for Graveyard Miracle Fusion, Banish Shenanigans, and all of that stuff. That's why you saw the Quintet Magician earlier. Now moving on to our traps, pretty self-explanatory lineup here. We've got 3 copies of Eternal Soul, 3 copies of Magician's Navigation, and 1 copy of our Magician's Combination. Now, you might be asking why Magician's Navigation is still in here at 3 in this particular build, and it's for one reason, and one reason only. The number of times you summon Dark Magician is high. When you've got Magician Navigation engraved, it's a non-once per turn negation of any spell or trap when Dark Magician is on the field, which is incredible, and most people don't see it coming. And so when you do that, you can steal games from people when you stop, their adventure cards or whatever from going off. Just an idea. Extra deck is up next. It's pretty simple, self-explanatory extra deck. Just any fusion that you can run, do run it. First thing starting out, Quintet Magician. He's the Dark Magician version of 5-headed dragon. We've next got one of the best cards that you should be running in this deck, and that's 2 copies of the Dark Magician Girl, the Dragon Knight. Super, super fun. I'm looking to get the alternate art version. Haven't gotten around to picking those up yet. And moving on to some of our crazier options here, just to give you an idea of what is in store for you. We've got 1 copy of Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight. Pretty good. Just very, very helpful to have his name be Dark Magician. 1 copy of Magician of Chaos. I picked this up brand new over the sneak peek weekend. Super excited to have this card because he can bring back this guy here, Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. Both of these guys together have some really awesome effects, and Dark Dragoon by himself can lock down most boards against unexpected opponents. It is great first turn play for Dark Magicians. 1 copy of Dark Cavalry. You use your Mirage Knight most of the time to go into that guy, or you can even use Dark Magician Knight. And now for the crazy special cards. We've got 1 copy of Dark Flare Knight. You can make this with Eye of Timaeus, and with Mirage Knight, I've used it to steal a game or 2, which is still pretty cool to be able to have a play like that. And finally, for our fusions, we've got a single copy of Thousand Dragon. Now, you may be asking yourself, why is this in here? Well, when Dark Sage comes about, I'm going to be using this card to grab one of the fusion materials listed on it with Fusion Deployment, and that card is Time Wizard. You can grab Time Wizard out of your deck, special summon it to the field, and then you can instantly activate its effect while you have a Dark Magician on the field, because the effect is not negated, to go into a Dark Sage. Pretty sweet. Our XYZs are up next, and we've only got 3 in here. 1 copy of 89 Diabolus, 1 copy of our Ebon Illusion Magician, and finally finishing things out with Ebon High Magician. That's going to do it for our profile of this Yugi Dark Magician deck. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I really enjoyed making the deck, and I'm still working and iterating on it. But a lot of people have been requesting the profile, so I thought I'd bring it to you. And yeah, well, thank you guys so much for watching, and this has been the Mermail Master with the Team Time Riders YouTube channel, signing out. Catch you guys next time. Peace.